All right, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Seed for 3, back with another one. You already know I do this basketball and astrology and motion going that way because it always moves. Back with another video, the breakdown. Jupiter going direct today on the 12th of March, 2026. I wrote 2025. That's crazy. It's still 2025 per astrology, but Jupiter going direct, blessings on the way. In the sign of Cancer, back with another video. It's been a minute. I can't remember the last public video I put on my page. I don't know, probably I don't even know, but it's March right now. It's March 12th. We got Jupiter going direct. Shout out to all my people. Hopefully this video reaches whoever. Blessings on the way. God is going to bless you. You know what I'm saying? I've been blessed. It's always a new thing going on when I make these videos. So, basketball keeps going, astrology keeps going, life keeps going, right? We live and we die, Shout out to Webby. Sometimes we live, sometimes we die. But yeah, man, I hope y'all been doing good. Man, Pisces season, emotions been over the place. It's actually raining right now, right? Per March astrology, water season, a lot of rain, a lot of snow out here in New England. Hope you guys been doing good. So we're just gonna break down Jupiter going direct, heavy retrograde season. Not heavy, but a couple of retrogrades to start the year off. Mercury is still in retrograde as I speak. That might be the next video I make. But right now we got Jupiter ending his retrograde cycle. Jupiter's going direct today. So a lot of people can feel some release, some clarity going forward. It's like some old, for lack of better words, karma is leaving us, right? So the funny thing about this Jupiter in direct transit, Jupiter has been in retrograde since last year of November 2025, right? And if you could think back to what you was doing during that time, you can see, how life was, how things was. Me personally, I was going through some issues, Jupiter and Cancer to begin with. Jupiter brings us blessings. Jupiter is the Jesus Christ planet. It brings us big expansion, big blessings. It brings optimism. Mr. Jesus Christ planet. It gives you faith. It makes you feel like you can do it, right? You have something to believe in, right? The way I teach astrology, right? I feel like Jupiter is a gift that everybody has in their birth chart. If you don't know what a birth chart is, you're confused about things like that, get with me, hit me up, email me, get with me on Instagram, any other socials, email, whatever. I got prices real cheap, for astrology work, really cheap, but it's quality work. I should charge more, but this is real good prices. I love to teach people, right? I'm a natural teacher, natural healer through my words and visions. But Jupiter brings that energy, so everybody has this in their birth chart. They have something, they have a gift. I don't care how shitty you think your life is, or how down and out, how cursed you may think you are from the devil, how unlucky, blase, blah. Jesus, God, the universe, God created the universe. I'm going to just say that, but calling the universe. God created the universe. Let's stand on that if you're watching my channel. Anyways, God gave everybody this gift, Jupiter. Jesus Christ put something in that birth chart to relate to. We can thank God for. So that's what Jupiter brings, optimism and expansion and a higher truth, right? And it's in the sign of Cancer. So in the sign of Cancer, this can deal with home life, domestic issues, bloodline, close family, close friends, things that you really feel close. Cancer is the first water house in astrology. So it's the beginning of emotions, just like childhood trauma or childhood blessings, the first teachers we had, the first nurturers, how did we first develop our home life intuition? How did we first develop those, how do we even first express our emotions, right? How do we release them, right? Did we cry a lot at home? Were we allowed to express that? Was it healthy expression of these emotions? All that deals with Cancer. And also, I would like to say cooking, domestic vibes, being domesticated, setting up home life, blended families, natural families, traditional things. And we are in 2026, so the Modern Family, which is a show that was on TV, Modern Family type shit, So a comfortable home life, basically. So with all that being said, if you add all those pieces of the pie together to get Jupiter and Cancer, think about how your home life was back in November of 2025, right? How is your relationship with your family? If you have kids, how is your relationship with your kids, right? Things like that. So me personally, I'll tell you guys, I was going through an eviction during that time, right? I literally did not know where I was going to live during Jupiter retrograde, which felt like a old test. Retrograde is a retest, a retry, you know, a retrial period. I was like, damn, God, like I'm going through another eviction. I felt like I haven't went through that in like 2-3 years, you know. So and I keep it real with you guys on my channel, whoever watches this, right? Jupiter in retrograde in Cancer going through my 4th house. So for those who actually know astrology, I have this going in my 4th house, which is the natural house of Cancer. So this doubles down of me experiencing this transit on the 3D realm as homelessness, and it was expanding and it was a retrial. But at the same time, I was learning who my real family was, you know. And granted, I live in a place where my family's not nearby. So it's like I couldn't go to grandma's house, sister's house, brother's house, cousin's, auntie, uncle house, right? I couldn't go to my close family. So I really had to see who had my back, extended family, like co-workers, friends where I'm at. And even also the 4th house, Cancer, I would say as an experienced astrologer, this also makes you rely on the power of who you are, right? Can you lead a family? Can you lead as a man too? Can you lead, and as a mom, right? Mothers and fathers, both and, right? Strong mothers, strong fathers. Can you lead something that needs to be protected, right? Like a household. You need to protect your house, protect your car, protect your kids, protect your pets, your investments, emotional investments, right? Real estate, land, things like this is all Cancer energy that deals with home building, right? So during that time, I was asking myself, how do I take care of this and not lose it all? Even though I'm going through a retrograde period, which Jupiter was expanding that, you know, retrograde, it feels like that planet isn't working the way it's going. So basically, direct means your car is going forward, like I'm sitting in the car right now. Retrograde means your car is going in reverse, and you're like, God damn, I'm going backwards. Didn't I just go through this? Like, I'm trying to go this way. So that's what it felt like. I was going through eviction, going through that, even periods of being by myself last year during that time. But I knew somehow I'll get through it, right? And right now, as it's going direct, right, new apartment, new people in my life, great friends, great support system. As now as I'm speaking, right, this is spiritual warfare, so it's always a battle with these transits, with these planets, with the good, evil, Jesus, devil, whatever you want to call it, battle within ourselves. So it's always a spiritual war out here. But this side of the war, as I make this video on March 12th, 2026, I have got a new place. It's not as good as my other place, but you know, not as spaces wise, but it's have more calm and more peace. So the thing about Jupiter and Cancer energy, the other way to break this energy down is, can you have the emotional control to be thankful for what you have went through probably since last year, right? Can you be thankful for your family, thankful for your kids, thankful for the roof over your head? Even we can maybe throw car and transportation in there, right? Some people might have been living in their cars and things like that. And me as an astrologer, I talk to people, I do case studies all the time. This is why I love being an astrologer, right? Entrepreneur. The things I do in my life, I do case studies. So I do know a lot of people right now in this modern America environment. That's where I live, in the USA. I know I have people who watch my videos from all over the world. Shout out to y'all. But out here, you know, homelessness is something we go through, right? And especially I'm in my 30s, so it's something that fluctuates as we're all trying to get stable. I know a lot of people who I talk to who can probably use some astrology work to help them figure out, or just how to ride the transits, right? So one of the best ways to ride out these transits that's emotional in Jupiter and Cancer, no matter what house is going through in your birth chart, Jupiter and Cancer will test the home life, or it has been tested since last year. How do you find people that's going to nurture for you? How do you find somebody that's even going to connect with you, right? Jupiter and Cancer does bring in a water sign and emotional realm. It is Pisces season. Mars is in Pisces also. So we have a heavy dose of this energy in the sky. Things either being too emotional that people can't feel you, or it's emotional enough so that people can feel your pain, feel your struggle, and they'll be able to connect with you and build that home life, or build some type of stability, right? every season is going to be a good time coming up for people to really shoot off all these water emotions and get past it and make moves. But right now with this Jupiter and Cancer, now say if you're not going through the home things like that, this could be a time of you learning about your past, your heritage, things like that. Now even me, when I going through it, my problem, I was like, man, I've been through this in the past, right? What have I learned from in my own personal past to get through this, right? Or you know, I'm a black man, I survived, you know, my ancestors had life harder than this, right? And it was just Black History Month in February. So you know, putting in my mind, you know, using my mind, your mind is powerful, your mind is smarter than a computer, you know, processing that and using the imagination helped me get through this other side of the Jupiter direct transit. Now the good thing about it, if you've been thugging, you've been going hard, you've been fighting the fight, you know what I'm saying? You've been going through the homelessness, you've been finding about your family, you've been even probably beating family curses, right? You might have been the alcoholic in the family, or drugs in the family, poverty in the family, things of that nature, mental illness, self-esteem, anger, depression, anything, right? There's so many ways the devil can attack or negative energies, explained through astrology, but still spiritual warfare, we all go through it, right? Jupiter in Cancer going direct today to Jesus Christ energy to bring it back in, you know, you will get your blessings going forward through March, right? It's gonna feel like now I could get that job. Now my home life feels a lot more secure. Me personally, I'm about to probably, hopefully, Lord say the same, speak it into existence, be in front of my rent instead of being behind. Like I got behind last year and just couldn't catch up. Not lack of being lazy, just karma, lessons, tests from God, right? Everything is in karma. A lot of people say karma, 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 karma. If you read the book of Job, his job was to be tested by God and the devil and to see how he will come on top. Shout out to Job in the book of Job and the people who read that in the Bible. So, you know, spiritual discernment, there's going to come a time when you can discern what is karma and what is a test from God. Because during that time, Job was like, I'm being tested. It's not my karma really. I know this is something else. And sometimes the test can be harder than karma, which is a deeper subject into being a chosen one and God. And when you come back on the other side of the test and the Jupiter and blessings, and shout out to maybe Job was a Cancer in the Bible, right? You be blessed on a double fold of it. You know, Job had more real estate, more family, more land, which is a Cancer side story if I really think about that. You know, the book of Job and that whole story is almost like a Jupiter retrograde and a Jupiter direct story, right? Jupiter tested him. Jesus Christ, right? Jesus tested him, or God, the energy, the same spirit. Stick with me, don't get lost in the 3D words, but the spirit energy that is in me, in you, in people, the spirit that's always going on, that even the spirit energy, quote unquote, whatever that's running the Wi-Fi in this phone, you have to really open your mind and expand your imagination to catch these words when I'm saying and how I'm saying it. Everything is not what meets the eyes. Transformers. Shout out to Transformers, right? But you get what I'm saying? The spirit energy that tested Job is the same energy that's testing people now in this day. Chosen ones know this. Going through it. Astrology is a good way to describe this, right? My philosophy and my viewpoint, astrology is one of the best ways to describe the spiritual warfare that every human being has been in since the dawn of time, you know? So, you know, blessings are on the way if you stuck it out this far and you got to March 12th and you've been fighting and you've been trying to be positive to people and you've been trying to be a blessing to other people. Let's say you didn't get bitter, right? I didn't get bitter despite all the evictions and shit I was going through. Yeah, I'm human. I have emotions. Try to use this emotional check and balance and healthy outlets and sleeping and drinking healthy, eating healthy, trying, right? Not to be perfect, but we're trying. Let's say you've been trying, God is going to bless you. You've been trying to be a blessing to others. You've been trying to uplift people, you know? That's something that God loves to see. When you going through it and you try to uplift others, you try to teach people, you still try to make an honest living, right? You still try to show up from your family and friends and whatever, etc., etc. Blessings are on the way. You know, you've been honoring your family. You've been honoring your ancestors. You've been honoring yourself. You know, you've been in that zone. You know, blessings are on the way. For others who don't know, they're just living, they're just going, blase, blase, blah. You know, but for those who are tapped in, keep the fight up. I'm a person who has been going through it year after year, every time I make a video on this channel, and this would be my like 100th video, I think it said. Every time I make a video on this channel, it has been trial and tribulation, highs and lows, the ebbs and flows. Jupiter and Cancer ride the ebbs and flows. Every water sign person knows that. Shout out to my Cancer people, Pisces and Scorpio people. They understand the ebbs and flows of life. They're, especially if you're a sun sign, if your sun sign is in a water sign, right? If you know, sun sign Cancer, sun sign Scorpio, sun sign Pisces, you understand the lows and highs of life, karma and dharma, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly of life, you know, especially mutable Pisces. Mutable Pisces can take you through there, for lack of better words, like that song, you know. Cancer wants you to find this higher knowledge. Jupiter wants you to connect with the spiritual realm more. That's why baptism happens in water. Water is such an agent that blends the veil between spiritual and physical, because water can reach all three states, gas, liquid, solid, and dissipate and disappear almost. So walk on water like Jesus, you know, control those emotions, you know, understand these emotions, summations, open your mind, you know. Jupiter in Cancer going direct brings the blessings. For a lot of us, God has been testing us since the end of 2025 on the calendar year, you know, especially with the spring equinox coming up. It's going to be real good energy for a lot of people who have been praying and praying and fighting and still having good spirit, controlling their emotions, you know what I'm saying, trying to be there, for, especially for kids and family, those less fortunate, for men being there for women who may need your help, trying to keep your energy good and pure. Blessings are on the way. Speaking into existence. Watch these videos. Watch this video as a positive affirmation. You know, I'm speaking it over my life. If you watch this video, I speak it over your life, you know, especially if you're a person that has prominent Cancer placements, Cancer moon, Cancer Mars, Cancer rising. You know, I'm a cusp on Cancer, right? I'm a July 24th baby, so I'm a cusp between Cancer and Leo. I'll take it. I don't have Cancer placements, but I'll take the cusp. July baby. But anything like that, pay attention to your life, tap in. You know, you want astrology work, hit me up. I can give you more depth in how this goes through your birth chart and how it's practical. You know, I just gave you guys example of how it goes through my 4th house and what I've been going through, evictions and homelessness, and now I'm on my feet again for like the 18th time. You know, the righteous stumble, but we always get up. We always get up, you know, vibe high. You know, you're going through it, keep your vibe up, keep your vibe high, especially in this water season, heavy Pisces energy. Jupiter is direct in Cancer, so it can expand your emotions right now. It can be easy to bust out into tears, or you can bust out into happy tears. So try to control that energy, you know, really expand it. Tap in with the Bible right now. It's a good time to get spiritual. Read the Bible. The Bible in itself is a book that represents the lineage since the day of time. Jesus lineage, the lineage of David, Adam, us, our lineage, the history, you know, slavery in the Bible, blessings in the Bible, things like this. So vibe high, tap in. Hope this video reaches who it needs to reach, you know. Jupiter in Cancer, add optimism, speak positivity. When I was going through the evictions last year, I always was like, I'm gonna bounce back. I don't know how. That's when you trust. But with that being said, astrology wise, Jupiter in Cancer, without lack of better words, this is a great sign. I think Jupiter is actually home in Cancer per deep astrology, right? Natural home Sagittarius, but I want to say exalted in Cancer. Maybe not home in Cancer. I think it's home in Sag, but Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, meaning per astrology, you get real good results in your life. Use this transit. Go out, be positive to your community, support the kids, support the youth, support the homelessness, support the homeless people outside, you know. Bring that energy. You reap what you sow. If you don't like the word karma, you will reap what you sow. Jupiter goes direct. If you've been sowing good seeds since last year, since this was retrograde, when it was tough, you know, tough. You know, and I could have went deep on this video, even with America and everything involved, but Jupiter in Cancer bringing blessings. You will reap what you sow. If you've been sowing good seeds since last year, last transit, Jupiter direct is going to bestow you blessings. Watch it. Tap in with me. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you think. Dropping videos a lot. stay tuned. Vibe high, Jupiter and Cancer. All my Cancer people, enjoy it. It's gonna be good for y'all till this transit goes into what? Leo. Then it'll be good again for us Leos. But Cancer people, y'all time to shine. Do your thing. All right. Enjoy the blessings. All right. I'm out. See you for 3.